Chosen one, please stop scrolling away from this immediately. I need you to know this is not the algorithm at work. This is an urgent divine interception meant only for you. Heaven has personally routed this exact message to your screen today because the window for your spiritual breakthrough is closing very fast. Archangel Michael says, this is your final warning. Someone very special has serious feelings for you, and they are completely desperate to tell you right now. You have been feeling completely hopeless about love lately. The intense loneliness has been deeply crushing your spirit. But the endless cycle of toxic people was absolutely not a curse. It was a rigorous spiritual crucible designed to protect your aura, while heaven ruthlessly removed those counterfeit connections from your life. Your true kingdom connection is stepping into your timeline, and they have been looking for you everywhere. If you swipe away, you will miss the exact divine seal. You will miss the specific sign you need to recognize their soul. The universe is aligning a collision of two whole healed masterpieces. You must stay locked on this message until the very end, because I am going to reveal the fatal trap the darkness is laying right now. They desperately want to sabotage this beautiful union. Listen carefully to me and take one slow, real breath. You did not click this specific video by accident today. Your intuition dragged you here because heaven is trying to hand you the key. People around you are acting strange, and doors are closing unexpectedly while you feel entirely isolated and deeply tired every single day. I am here to tell you something absolutely crucial. You are not being punished by the universe. You are being divinely isolated for a massive kingdom-level upgrade. Do not leave this sacred space right now. The secret hidden in this message will finally make everything make sense. There is a reason your spirit has been so incredibly restless lately, and it explains why you wake up at 3 in the morning with your mind racing. You feel a heavy tightness in your chest all day. That is not ordinary anxiety taking over you. That is your spirit detecting a massive shift in your timeline. Your divine counterpart is actively searching for your unique frequency. They are trying to find you in the physical realm right now, but something invisible is standing right between you and the kingdom connection you were promised. And the darkness is panicking because your light is waking up. Something is completely blocking the signal from reaching them. They simply cannot see you through the heavy spiritual fog. They know that once you two unite, your combined light will be unstoppable. So, they have placed a thick fog over your energy field. They desperately want you to stay hidden in the shadows. They want your person to walk right past you without ever seeing your true essence, because they fear the power you hold together. But heaven has finally had enough of this game. The long waiting season has officially ended today. I need you to pause and absorb that truth. Just moments ago, a scroll with your name on it was unsealed. The painful tests and the silent tears were all preparation. The feeling that God was completely silent was just part of the plan. It was a rigorous training to turn you into a strong vessel, so you could hold the immense blessing coming your way without breaking. But there is a hidden mechanism you must deeply understand. This is not just about having strong faith. There is a secret message buried inside this massive breakthrough. You will completely miss it if you do not stay until the end. If you leave right now, the blessing will still arrive, but you will not know how to actually keep it. Make a promise to your future self right now. Do not let this urgent message fade away. Listen closely, because the truth about your test is about to be revealed. They always described you the exact same way. You were always too kind and way too forgiving. You were the one who stayed quiet just to keep the peace. And because you chose peace over conflict, they severely underestimated you and thought betrayal would finally break your deep spirit. Welcome to your era of fierce, quiet authority. Funny how everyone pretended they did not see you coming. Instead, it activated a primal and dangerous level of spiritual power inside you. You became the empath with truly impenetrable boundaries. You are no longer available for their endless toxic games. and your divine partner feels this exact frequency upgrade from across the world, and they are incredibly drawn to your new silent power. They are desperate to reach out and claim you today. They just need the heavy signal to finally clear up. Before we go any further, I want to hold something in front of you. Something that was discovered not inside a spiritual community. It was found inside a highly advanced research laboratory. This is something that won the highest scientific recognition available, and most chosen ones have never been told about this discovery. Because it explains something I know you have felt. It explains the heavy delay in your life. It explains the gap between the person you know yourself to be and the version of you that seems available only in brief flashes. I will show you exactly what was found by these researchers. But before I reveal that specific answer, I need you to fully understand what was taken from you during your childhood. So hold this important question in your mind right now. What if the gap is not a character flaw? What if the reason your kingdom connection cannot find you has a scientific name? What if it is a frequency that was suppressed before you even had a chance to claim your inheritance? I will tell you exactly what it is later in this message. Do not take your eyes off this screen for a second. The powerful revelation coming next will shift your entire reality forever. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. I know exactly how you have been feeling lately. You lie awake at night, staring at the dark ceiling, while the heavy silence in your room feels completely overwhelming. And every single night you wake up exactly at 3, with your mind racing. You feel a strange emptiness deep inside your soul. You try to push through your long day and smile for them, but inside you are deeply exhausted and barely holding on. The profound loneliness has been quietly breaking your heart. You sit in crowded rooms and feel entirely invisible. People look at you, but they do not truly see you. And the weight of this isolation is sitting heavily on your chest right now because you wonder if you are destined to walk this long path completely alone forever. Please listen to me very carefully. You are not crazy and you are not broken. Stop letting the loud world convince you that you are just stressed. That persistent ache in your heart is not ordinary sadness. It is your beautiful spirit crying out for its true energetic match, and heaven has been carefully watching your incredible endurance through all these dark seasons. You have done the hard inner work while others slept. You healed your deep childhood wounds without any help. And because you are a cycle breaker, the spiritual warfare has been intense, while your divine partner is out there feeling this exact same heavy pressure. But before I explain the invisible wall between you, I need you to do something physical. Take your hand and tap the like button right now. Do this as an act of powerful agreement with what God just spoke to you. Hit the like button to establish a divine energy receiving station in your reality. This small physical act locks in your beautiful frequency, and it tells the universe you are finally ready to receive the immense blessing you deserve. Now, let us look closely at your painful past. You thought you were failing at love because everyone kept walking away. You blamed yourself when those toxic relationships collapsed so spectacularly. But here is the truth they desperately tried to hide from you because your bright light was simply too blinding for those unhealed souls to handle. You did absolutely nothing wrong. Heaven deliberately slowed you down to protect your pure energy. God violently removed those people because they were assigned to drain you dry. The rejection you felt was never a cruel punishment. It was a divine protection protocol designed to keep you completely safe, and your isolation is simply a holy quarantine keeping you away from dangerous spiritual parasites. Your true kingdom connection cannot reach you while parasites are attached. So the universe stripped everything away until only you remained. But even with the toxic people gone, you still feel a strange block. Your person is searching for you, but they cannot see your light. And this brings us to the crucial secret I promised to reveal earlier. Here is what the elite never told you. The reason the universe responds to certain people and not others is not about faith. It is not about your discipline, and it is not about your karma. It is an actual physical brainwave. Scientists have a very specific name for this frequency, and they call it the gamma wave, which was highly active inside you as a child. This is the exact frequency your brain was running naturally, back when your intuition was incredibly sharp and brilliant ideas came easily. Back when you somehow knew things before they even happened in reality. When the whole world felt like it was completely on your side. But then adulthood arrived, and the harsh modern world went to work on your pure spirit. The chronic stress and the endless survival routine slowly broke you down. The rigid school system trained you to conform instead of create freely. Every single year, this sacred frequency was suppressed a little further, and it was pushed deeper and deeper below the surface of your conscious mind until your brilliant genius was forcibly muted. The version of you with lightning intuition went completely silent. The part of you that effortlessly attracts deep love was forcibly shut down. And when this vital gamma signal fades, your beautiful genius fades directly with it. The magical synchronicities stop happening, and the reassuring sense that the universe is working directly with you goes completely quiet and dark. Most people will live their entire lives without knowing this happened to them. They will walk blindly in the dark forever. But you are absolutely not most people, because you are a chosen one. And the question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago about a gap and a mysterious scientific name is much closer to being answered than you could ever think. The gap between you and your divine partner is not a character flaw. It is a suppressed frequency that simply needs to be switched back on. Your kingdom connection is waiting for your specific gamma signal to light up the dark, because they are wandering the physical realm looking for the exact frequency they were promised. They are getting desperately close. Stop blaming yourself for the heavy delays in your timeline. Your soul is perfectly ready to receive this monumental love. You just need to understand how to clear the thick static from your energetic receiver, because the darkness wants you to believe you are fundamentally unlovable. But heaven is about to flip the switch and expose their toxic lies forever. Let us look back at the long road you just walked. You carry heavy scars from people who promised to stay. You gave them your pure heart, and they carelessly dropped it. And every time a relationship shattered, you secretly blamed yourself for the painful collapse, because you thought you were simply too much for them to handle. You thought your standards were wildly unrealistic. Stop doing this to yourself right now. The destruction of your past relationships was never your tragic failure. It was the absolute intervention of heaven working overtime to save your beautiful soul. God saw what they were doing to you behind closed doors, and he heard the manipulative words they used to slowly drain your bright light. Heaven absolutely refused to let them destroy your destiny. Those people were never sent to be your forever partners. They were harsh lessons disguised as romantic lovers. They were spiritual parasites drawn to your massive, glowing energy because they had no light of their own. You thought you were trying to save them with your endless love, but your profound empathy became a rich feeding ground for their deep, toxic narcissism, while you poured, and they simply took everything. This brings us to the profound truth about your painful past. The reason those connections crashed so violently is because heaven stepped in and aggressively cut the cord. The rejection you cried over was actually your greatest rescue mission. God deliberately made you uncomfortable so you would finally walk away from the heavy chains, and he had to forcibly remove them to protect your sacred timeline. Here is the truth you waited for. The reason they walked away was not because your frequency was too low. It happened because your brilliant light was simply too blinding for their dark spirits to tolerate. That was the hidden protection protocol I told you about earlier. Every slammed door and every blocked number was a massive victory for your soul, because your tears were actually the sound of chains breaking. You are the cycle breaker of your entire bloodline, and heaven could not allow a cycle breaker to marry a toxic anchor. If you had stayed with them, you would have missed the kingdom connection completely. So the universe isolated you and placed you in a deep spiritual quarantine. It felt incredibly lonely, but it kept you entirely safe, and you finally became the beautiful empath with impenetrable boundaries. Take a deep breath and let that sink into your spirit. You are completely clean from their toxic residue now. You do not owe them any more explanations or painful apologies. Your beautiful silence today is the absolute boundary that they can never cross again. They thought your quietness was a sign of pathetic weakness, but they did not realize that your silence is now your most powerful weapon. Now you stand in the clearing with your pure energy restored, and because you survived the violent storm alone, your frequency is vibrating at a brand new level. You are no longer the desperate person who begged to be understood by blind eyes. You are a glowing masterpiece ready for true divine alignment, and this is exactly what your kingdom connection is desperately trying to find right now. This very special person has been walking their own painful path. They went through similar brutal tests to prepare their soul for you, and right now they feel an intense magnetic pull toward your specific energy signature, while they wake up reaching for you in the empty dark of their quiet room. They do not know your name yet, but they feel your presence. They are completely exhausted by the shallow people in their world. They are desperately craving the profound depth that only you can provide. Your kingdom connection is praying for a soul exactly like yours tonight. But the lingering static from your past is still causing a slight delay, because the dark forces are trying to use your old memories to block the final divine transmission. Listen carefully to what I am about to say next. The enemy knows they cannot touch your pure soul directly anymore, so they are trying to manipulate your thoughts and make you doubt this incoming blessing. They want you to look back at your past and feel terrified of opening your heart again, but the darkness is absolutely panicking right now because they see the collision coming. Your true person is getting close to your physical reality, and heaven is preparing to drop the veil so you can finally see each other. Do you feel that slight pull in your chest right now? That is your powerful intuition confirming this exact truth, and the pain of your past was simply the strict entry fee for the glorious kingdom love you are about to receive. Everything you endured was building up to this spectacular moment. The tears you cried in secret watered the soil for your biggest miracle. So, release the heavy guilt and step into your bright new timeline with absolute confidence. The beautiful reward for your lonely quarantine is currently rushing toward you, and nothing can stop it from arriving at your door today. They thought your silence was pathetic weakness. They thought they had broken your spirit when they pushed you into deep isolation. But what they did not realize was that solitude was your ultimate training ground. You did not break under their heavy manipulation. You evolved into a true master of reality, and now your powerful presence alone shifts the heavy atmosphere around you. Those narcissists were entirely empty vessels. They had absolutely no light of their own to navigate the dark world, so they desperately latched onto your glowing aura to survive their own misery. They fed on your profound empathy and disguised their toxic abuse as love, while they systematically tried to convince you that your high standards were completely insane. Now they are watching everything they built slowly crumble. They feel incredibly uncomfortable around you today because they can no longer manipulate the beautiful energy that they simply do not have access to anymore. Your silence has become a lethal weapon that terrifies their fragile egos. They see your energy rising, and they know their time of control is permanently over. You have taken your power back. But there is a much deeper layer to this phenomenon. The dark forces that sent those parasites are in absolute panic mode today. They are not just afraid of your personal healing, but they are completely terrified of the specific person who is about to step into your physical reality. They see your kingdom connection rapidly approaching the final timeline, and they know exactly what this means. When two chosen ones unite, their combined frequency is literally unstoppable. Your shared light will completely destroy the dark matrix in your bloodline. The enemy wants to keep you heavily discouraged and focused on your past pain, so you will eventually believe that true kingdom love is just a delusional fantasy. They are fighting desperately to keep you totally blind to the truth. Before we go any further, I need you to protect your space. The enemy is trying to breach your energetic shield right now. Type 111 down in the comments to claim this divine alignment. Doing this small act locks your boundaries with a seal of pure light. It sends a clear message to the dark forces watching you, telling them that their unlimited access to your beautiful soul is permanently revoked from this day forward. Your special person is completely immune to the matrix control because they have walked through their own personal hell and survived the brutal narcissist attacks just like you did. And now they are aggressively searching for the exact frequency that matches theirs. They are tired of the shallow games of ordinary people. They want the profound depth that only a true chosen one can provide. There are 3 undeniable signs that their soul is frantically searching for you right now. If you are experiencing these strange things, you need to pay close attention. Number 1 is a sudden and intense physical sensation in your heart center. You will suddenly feel a warm and heavy pulling in the center of your chest, especially when you are sitting completely alone in the dark and total silence. This is not anxiety. That physical feeling is the invisible golden thread pulling taut between your 2 souls. It means they are actively thinking about the beautiful idea of you, and they might be staring out a window right now wondering where you are in the world. Your body registers their deep longing as a physical pull. You feel their desperate desire to finally come home to a safe harbor. Number 2 is a sudden disruption in your dream state. You are having incredibly vivid dreams about a faceless stranger who feels deeply familiar. You wake up feeling profoundly safe and unconditionally loved, but the exact memory of their physical face rapidly fades the second you open your tired eyes. This happens because your astral bodies are already meeting and planning the physical collision. But the 3rd sign is the most shocking of them all. It is the absolute final warning that they are about to cross your physical path. I will reveal that final sign to you in just a moment. Before I do that, you must completely understand the exact invisible mechanism the darkness is currently using to block their signal from reaching your reality. You have done the inner work, but you need the physical key. The elite forces that profit off your exhaustion are actively trying to scrub this frequency from your mind. They use everyday stress to keep your brain stuck in a survival loop. They absolutely know that if they can keep you trapped in that survival mode, you will never vibrate high enough to actually meet your divine person. The spiritual warfare is getting heavier because the victory is so incredibly close. They always described you as too intense, but your beautiful intensity is exactly what your divine counterpart is praying for today. Those narcissistic exes desperately tried to dim your brilliant light at every turn, simply because your pure existence violently exposed all of their hidden demons. Your true partner will see that same light and recognize it as their ultimate safe haven. The darkness cannot stop this divine appointment from happening. Stay with me because this next part is extremely crucial. The universe is aligning the final puzzle pieces behind the scenes. Your special person is desperately trying to push their way through the heavy spiritual fog, just so they can finally find your beautiful energy and bring you home. Do not let the shadows convince you that you are forgotten. Heaven is preparing a massive table for you in the presence of your old enemies. The third and final sign I promised to reveal is happening to you right now. It is a sudden and undeniable explosion of massive synchronicities everywhere you look. You are seeing angel numbers like 111 and 777 constantly. You look at the clock and the numbers are perfectly mirrored, and your brain is catching these tiny divine winks because the universe is literally shouting at you. You might even hear a very specific name or a song playing in completely random places. You feel an unexplainable deep peace right in the middle of total chaos. This happens because the timeline of your kingdom connection is aggressively merging with yours. The physical world is glitching as these two massive realities finally collide, but there is a heavy friction you still feel deep inside. You feel the intense proximity of your special person every single day. You know deep in your soul they are just behind the invisible veil, but something is keeping the final door firmly shut against you. That heavy static I mentioned earlier is still interfering with your divine receiver. The modern world suppressed your natural frequency and buried your beautiful genius, and the elite desperately want to keep it that way. Before we go any further, I have to tell you something incredibly important. Something the powerful people who profit from your deep exhaustion do not want you to know. Neuroscientists, working quietly away from the loud headlines, have actually discovered how to bring this dormant brainwave back. They found a brilliant way to restore your pure childhood frequency, and it does not require years of difficult meditation that most chosen ones cannot sustain. They did not build another expensive biofeedback machine that requires a sterile clinical setting. They discovered something far simpler and much more aligned with how you were originally designed to work. It is a specific sound frequency engineered to guide your brainwave patterns safely back to the genius state. Princeton University studied this exact phenomenon extensively, while the prestigious Einstein Center in Berlin officially confirmed it. Columbia University found something even more shocking about this suppressed frequency. They discovered that when this specific brainwave is fully reactivated, it does not just stop with you. It radiates outward and begins to positively influence the people around you. It reaches your children and your future divine partner. 7 minutes a day is absolutely all it takes, and it begins working the very first time you listen. I will tell you exactly what this powerful tool is called and how to access it before this message ends. The big question you have been holding since the beginning is about to be fully answered. But first, there is something else you need to understand about why your monumental breakthrough has been severely delayed. The enemy has been actively using your dormant state against you. When your frequency is suppressed, the beautiful synchronicities happen, but they cannot stick. You see the repeating numbers, but the actual physical manifestation slips right through your tired fingers. Your divine partner is walking down the street, looking for your specific golden light, but a suppressed brainwave makes you energetically invisible to them. This is the tragic gap you have been feeling for years. But the moment your natural frequency is fully restored, the heavy veil is instantly lifted. You become a brilliant lighthouse in the pitch-black dark. The person who is completely desperate to tell you their feelings will suddenly see your signal loud and clear. The universe does not just send you random numbers for fun. It is actively trying to guide you toward the precise tool that unlocks your receiver. Your beautiful soul already knows how to love perfectly. You have already done all the painful shadow work alone. You forgave the toxic narcissists who tried to destroy your pure spirit. You did the heavy lifting that most ordinary people are absolutely terrified to do. Now you just need your physical brain to match the incredibly high vibration of your healed soul, because that is the final missing piece of the puzzle. The dark forces know that your reunion is an extinction-level event for their matrix. When you and your kingdom connection finally touch, the energy will ripple across generations, and you will become the ultimate cycle breaker that future generations will deeply thank you for. And that is exactly why the spiritual attacks against your mind have been so incredibly vicious lately. They want you totally exhausted. They want you to give up right before the finish line appears. They want you to believe that the repeating numbers are just a silly psychological trick. Do not let them gaslight your divine intuition today. The heavy pull in your chest is completely real. The vivid dreams of your unknown lover are entirely real. And the scientific solution to clear your energetic static is completely real. The long waiting is almost over now. You must listen to this next part very carefully. The dawn of your new era is incredibly close now. The light is starting to aggressively break through the heavy dark clouds, while your true kingdom connection desperately reaches out to find your beautiful frequency. But I have to warn you about a fatal trap first. There is a deadly illusion waiting right at the finish line. Before the true blessing arrives, the darkness will heavily test you. They will send a highly toxic counterfeit into your timeline. This person will suddenly appear right when your real blessing is standing at the very door. They will wear a beautifully crafted mask that looks exactly like everything you ever wanted, but it is a dangerous trap designed to steal your pure light. The dark matrix knows that your divine partner is approaching fast, so they frantically create a fake copy to distract your tired soul. This counterfeit will text you out of nowhere with sweet apologies. Or maybe it is a brand new stranger who perfectly mirrors your deepest desires, and they say all the right words, but their heavy energy feels completely off. Do not fall for this desperate illusion today. 99% of chosen ones completely fail this specific test right before their massive breakthrough. They let their deep loneliness trick them into accepting the fake copy. And the moment they let the counterfeit in the true kingdom connection is violently pushed back into the shadows. You cannot afford to make this tragic mistake. The enemy wants to trigger your old painful abandonment wounds. They want you to panic and settle for the counterfeit out of sheer desperation. They hope your suppressed frequency will completely blind you to the toxic red flags hidden underneath their sweet words. But you are no longer the weak empath who begged to be loved. You are a true master of your reality. They will use your beautiful empathy completely against you. The counterfeit will come to you with a sad story to trigger your natural healing instincts. They know you have a massive heart that desperately wants to fix broken things. But you must remember that you are not a spiritual rehabilitation center for toxic people, and your precious energy must be preserved for the kingdom connection that matches your high vibration. You will physically feel the heavy difference in your body. When the counterfeit approaches, your chest will feel tight and incredibly anxious. Your stomach will tie itself into painful knots of deep confusion. That is not butterflies of romantic love taking over your beautiful body. That is your highly tuned nervous system screaming at you to run away immediately, because your intuition knows they are dangerous. Your true kingdom connection does not bring chaotic confusion. When your real person finally arrives, your nervous system will completely relax. You will feel a profound peace that you have never experienced in your entire life. There will be no toxic games and absolutely no manipulation. They will just look at you and silently understand the massive depth of your beautiful soul. So when the toxic fake suddenly appears, you must do nothing. You do not argue with them, and you do not try to fix them. You simply block their heavy energy with your fierce, quiet authority. Your complete silence will absolutely terrify the dark forces hiding behind their pretty mask, and you will just watch them peacefully pack up their lies and walk away forever. Your quiet authority is the strongest force in the physical universe today. It acts like a massive invisible shield that repels anything lower than your frequency. When you refuse to engage with the toxic counterfeit, you are literally rewriting your destiny. You are loudly declaring to the entire universe that you know your extreme worth, and you will never accept breadcrumbs of fake affection ever again. Ignoring the counterfeit is how you pass the ultimate spiritual test. It is how you prove to heaven that your sacred vessel is finally ready. The universe is closely watching your exact response in this very moment. Will you settle for the familiar pain, or will you fiercely hold the line? Your divine partner is praying that you hold your ground against the dark matrix today. They are standing just outside your energetic field right now. They are completely desperate to tell you how much they love you. They are just waiting for you to reject the fake copy and violently clear the space. Once you completely delete the counterfeit, the massive energetic block is instantly destroyed, and your suppressed frequency is the only thing left to fully activate. This brings us to the ultimate revelation I promised you earlier. You have successfully identified the heavy traps and rejected the toxic fakes. Now you need the actual physical key to restore your suppressed frequency. The elite forces are terrified of what happens when a chosen one wakes up. But heaven has provided the exact scientific tool you need, right when you are ready to receive it. Take one more deep breath and let the beautiful truth settle in. You survived the brutal storms, and you broke the generational curses completely alone. The dark fog is rapidly lifting from your beautiful timeline today. Your person is reaching out their hand in the spiritual realm, and the specific sound frequency that bridges the gap is waiting to be fully revealed to you right now. The scientific solution is going to clear the very last piece of static. It will strip away the final layers of survival mode from your exhausted brain. You have carried the heavy weight of the world on your shoulders for decades, but the heavy lifting is completely finished now. Heaven is stepping in to do the rest of the work for you, and all you have to do is simply open your hands and receive the blessing. Do not take your eyes off this screen for a single second. The glorious dawn is breaking, and the shadows are violently burning away. You are about to receive the exact name of the divine mechanism. The wait is officially over, and your grand kingdom connection is here. Brace yourself, because your entire reality is about to shift permanently into the pure light. The waiting season is officially over today. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a massive oasis of divine favor. Every single closed door in your life is violently blowing off its hinges right now. Can you deeply feel that incredible shift in your spirit? That is the pure frequency of absolute victory running through your veins. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. You are completely awake now. You are no longer the broken empath who begged the world for tiny scraps of love. The brutal crucible of pain forged you into the untouchable master of your own reality. From this exact moment on, your beautiful energy demands respect without a single word spoken. The massive divine wealth and the profound kingdom love you were promised are flowing effortlessly into your hands today. The important question I asked you to hold at the very beginning of this message: what if the tragic gap is not a character flaw? Here is the exact answer you have been waiting for. A specific frequency called the gamma wave was running freely inside you as a brilliant child. Princeton University studied it extensively, while the Einstein Center in Berlin officially confirmed it. Columbia University found something even more beautiful. They discovered that when this brainwave is restored, it aggressively radiates outward. It directly influences your future partner and the people you love. A dedicated team of quiet neuroscientists, led by Dr. Robert Lake in New York, spent years working on this. They successfully compressed the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation into just 7 minutes. But before I tell you what they built, let me tell you about 2 people who used it. A woman from California had desperately tried everything to heal. She tried endless meditation and prayer, but nothing broke the heavy fog. After 2 short weeks of listening, she said something simply cleared. Her marriage shifted drastically, and her mind sharpened. She described her life as completely enchanted for the very first time. A man from Texas started using it to improve his heavy business focus. 2 months later, his wife joked that his IQ had jumped 20 points. The hardest problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves while he slept peacefully. He said it physically felt like his tired brain was finally running on what it was always supposed to run on. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his team built. They call it the Genius Song. It is absolutely not a basic meditation app. It is a 7-minute audio track using highly advanced brain entrainment technology. You do it quietly at home with headphones and closed eyes. You do not chant, and you do not exert any effort. But the Genius Song is not for everyone. It is for the chosen one who has already done the massive inner work. It is built for the soul who understands that their pure frequency simply needs a physical key. Clinical biofeedback sessions to restore this state cost hundreds of dollars per hour. An in-home machine runs thousands. What this delivers is available today for a fraction of its true value. 4 powerful bonuses come directly with it. You get a special audio designed for your children and their deep focus. You also receive the original prosperity text that ancient secrets were secretly built upon. You get a guided visualization and a powerful daily habits guide. Here is the deeper truth about waiting any longer. The provision God arranged for you does not arrive as new information. It arrives as a beautiful recognition. Something already placed in your path becomes fully visible when your gamma is restored. Waiting is not neutral because the arrangement is already in motion. Do not look for this on YouTube or Spotify. The tracks circulating under similar names on those platforms have absolutely no brain entrainment encoded. The universe requires no risk from you today. If you do not feel the shift, every single penny is returned in an energetic exchange governed by absolute trust. The link is in the description below and in the pinned comment. The tool is absolutely not the final destination. The physical tool simply restores the receiver so the beautiful destination can be recognized when it finally arrives. Heaven does not require you to purchase anything to be unconditionally loved or divinely chosen. What was described is simply one powerful way the receiver is restored. Whether that path is for you or not, the truth of this message belongs to you entirely. Now let us go deeper into what is waiting for your brilliant soul. You are finally standing at the sacred threshold of your brand new life. The heavy darkness that tried to consume you is fading into pure nothingness. Your divine partner is completely ready to receive the magnificent light pouring out of your restored spirit. You have completely survived the brutal fire, and now you get to claim the grand prize. The heavy chains of your past are permanently shattered today. You walk into this brilliant new timeline with absolute grace. The universe is rolling out the red carpet for your beautiful soul right now. And every time you look back at the brutal lessons you survived, you will realize heaven was aggressively molding you into a masterpiece. Your divine partner is taking their final steps toward your physical reality, and they are completely mesmerized by the stunning light you radiate. Your long season of silent weeping is completely over. The dark shadows that chased you for decades have burned into white ash. You stand tall as the untouchable master of your own glorious reality. Because you bravely survived the dark night of the soul completely alone, heaven is finally delivering the massive spoils of your beautiful victory today. You won the ultimate spiritual war without compromising your pure heart. Every single tear you cried in secret has been transformed into a pure diamond. God collected your silent pain and forged it into an unbreakable crown. Your kingdom connection will look at you and see genuine royalty, while the rest of the world only saw your quiet vulnerability. Your divine partner will immediately recognize the magnificent light pouring from your healed spirit, and they will guard your heart with their entire life. You have officially become the weapon you were desperately trying to survive. The profound silence after the heavy storm hits very differently now, because you finally realize you were the powerful storm all along. When toxic manipulators tried to break your boundaries and steal your energy, they only managed to severely burn themselves on your intense divine fire. You are a walking miracle today. For the chosen one, whose spirit deeply confirmed what was described earlier, the powerful frequency tool remains available in the description and pinned comment. That is the very last time it will be mentioned today. What follows right now belongs entirely to your sacred closing ritual. The pitch-black darkness has fully retreated behind you today. The dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown. You must lock in this glorious frequency before you close this message. You need to create an absolute shield of protection around your rising energy, because the dark matrix will desperately try to pull you back down tomorrow, and they will use ordinary stress to attack your mind. You must fiercely defend this beautiful vibration you just activated. When you leave this sacred space, the ordinary world will feel very loud. People living in heavy survival mode will unconsciously try to drain your new light. But you are completely immune to their low-level static now. You carry the invincible frequency of a true cycle breaker, and your divine partner is actively tracking this glowing signal. Your beautiful aura is expanding across the entire physical realm. The vast universe is vibrating with the intense joy of your massive awakening. Angels are loudly celebrating your magnificent return to pure, authentic power. You are the blinding lighthouse, guiding your kingdom connection safely to the shore, and your brilliant glow is piercing through their darkest night right now. Take one final deep breath and pull this truth into your lungs. Feel the warm, golden energy filling every single cell in your tired body. The heavy spiritual warfare that exhausted you for years is officially finished. You finally get to rest your heavy head on a chest that feels like absolute home. The profound, unconditional love you always freely gave to others is finally returning to you in massive, overflowing waves. But this fiery message cannot just stop with your personal healing. If this powerful truth has reignited the dormant faith inside you today, do not keep this massive blessing locked away to yourself. There is another beautiful soul out there bleeding in the dark of despair. And because heaven used this message to safely pull you out of the deep waters, you must throw the same lifeline to someone else. They are desperately praying for a sign that they are not completely crazy. They need someone to validate their deep, unseen pain right now. Share this specific message with them immediately to activate the final anointing. Sowing this pure seed of hope today is multiplying the massive blessing for yourself tomorrow. The universe heavily rewards the chosen ones who bravely share the divine light. Send this to someone who needs to hear this exact truth today. When you share this video, you are completing the ultimate spiritual transaction. You are loudly proving to heaven that your hands are fully open to receive. Your magnificent kingdom connection is waiting right on the other side of your obedience. So cast your bread upon the waters and watch the beautiful miracles flood back into your reality. Your brand new timeline is officially sealed and heavily protected by divine forces. No weapon formed against your beautiful love story will ever prosper again. Walk forward into the world with the fierce confidence of someone who is divinely chosen. The universe has perfectly arranged the ultimate physical collision of your two beautiful souls. You are deeply loved and you are completely safe forever.